So rare earth materials, the key use case are for magnets for electric vehicles, wind turbines, drones, robots. Pretty much any advanced motion technology of the 21st century requires these materials.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Investing Guide. Chamath Palihapitiya is one of the most successful investors of recent times. You'll definitely want to hear what his top investments for 2021 is. Tweeting on the 22nd of December, Chamath let the world know that he was finalizing the details of his largest climate investment ever. You should be excited, but what is it all about? Should you look to invest in it as well? Well, perhaps, but make sure you stick around until the end of this video because we've done our research and what we found out will definitely make you think twice. Climate change and global warming is only becoming a serious consideration these days. More and more people are accepting it as a reality, and that is definitely being reflected in the financial markets. On Twitter, Chamath reasoned to President Joe Biden, going on record as putting America on the path to a carbon-free, pollution-free electricity sector by the year 2035. To which Chamath reasoned, if so, we will need a lot of rare earth metals to make it happen. Chamath now has a stake in the largest source of rare earth metals outside of China. So, what is this big bet? Well, it's MP Materials Corp, trading on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker MP. The thing about a carbon-free future with minimum fossil fuels is that we need to look into alternative materials and rarer materials. The supply of these rare earth metals is exactly what MP deals with, and a surprisingly huge field in the upcoming years. As a general rule of thumb, it is important to ask yourself three important questions in order to determine how good an investment is. 1. Is this investment addressing an important human need? 2. Could this be used by a large majority of the earth? 3. Is there good leadership within the company? Clearly, the push and monetary investment from governments and industry into alternative sources of energy and a cleaner future can be seen industry-wide. The electric vehicle sector exploded last year. The Chinese government personally invested $1 billion in a green car company. By 2035, this will be our new reality. These companies need the metals that MP finds and produces, and it would be a key supplier to various companies in the near future. Secondly, could this be used by a large majority of the earth? Does this company provide value? We're changing cars from gas to electric, but soon we'll be changing planes and boats as well. One day I'm sure SpaceX and Blue Origin will be looking for cleaner fuel on our trip to Mars. When speaking about the majority of the earth and supplying the alternate energy sector with materials, the possible market capitalization is in the hundreds of billions. Thirdly, is there good leadership within the company? Under the extremely capable hands of Chamath Palihapitiya, maybe. Mr. Palihapitiya has actually done more than just invest in this company through his role of a shareholder. He actually invested through means of a PIPE deal, which stands for a public investment in public equity deal. Of course, there exists a lot of pros and cons to something like this, as both parties stand to gain and lose. The Fortress Value Acquisition Corp to help MP Materials went public recently, trading on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker FAII. Since its arrival on the market during Q4 2020, trading at $10 per share, the price has risen to fluctuations of around $12 as of Q1 2021. MP, or rather Mountain Pass Materials, merged in November 2020 with Fortress Value Acquisitions across a $1.5 billion deal that injected the company in excess of $500 million. Now, a huge part of this was the $200 million through PIPE stock. Regardless, the company aims to secure a supply line for America as well as the rest of the world for rare earth metals. The Mountain Pass mine is currently the only rare earth mine and processor in North America, an extremely key asset for the nation and something that will see governmental contracts. Currently, the American government is creating executive orders in relation to rare earth materials and their importance. If you don't understand the importance of these rare earth metals, they are pretty much a component of every single electronic device. Lenses, rechargeable batteries, electric motors, mobile phones, wind turbines, you name it, and the chances are rare earth metals are being used in them. There's been an estimate of around $7 trillion worth of finished goods that contain rare earth metals that are manufactured yearly. Just think of the market capitalization potential of the sole provider of that material in North America. Looking at the information across Chamath Palihapitiya's one-pager, he doesn't make investments without it, it can be clear to see how the positives are greatly outweighing the negatives with this. Amongst lots of high-margin opportunities for expansion, long-term, large-scale supply and demand lines in store, and this industry becoming increasingly more important in regards to the electrification sector, it is hard to ignore the glaring risks. the aggressively priced Chinese competitors, the scientific breakthrough of other alternatives to these rare earth materials, the environmental impact of operating in a country as strict as America. Regardless, Chamath Palihapitiya has decided to go ahead with the Fortune Valley PIPE deal, and the positive effect on the MP Materials share price shows nothing but great things. From November 2020, the company nearing bankruptcy and investors sensing blood in the water, trading at $11 a share to the post-deal value generated, leaving the company at an all-time high of $35. Fluctuating and currently sitting at $30 on an upward trend, the future looks bright for MP Materials. But what does the future hold in store for the company, especially in the short term, as the company was close to bankruptcy in the past? What is its business strategy? Well, the most recent shareholder announcement has listed a three-stage plan. Ultimately, the company aims to become a fully integrated raw material industry leader, extending services from pure mining to both refining and manufacturing. The primary stage revolves around the mining sector. This is the fundamental running order of the business as of now, completely set up and running perfectly and generating in excess of $100 million in revenue yearly. The secondary stage is currently under development and is the focus of refining the raw material and is aimed to be completed by 2022. This is what truly defines rare earth material suppliers. Rare earth metals aren't actually rare, but rather their processing is extremely complex and intricate. The company aims to reduce time and cost in enabling its refining capabilities by retrofitting the existing processing units. Finally, the alloy and magnet stage, pretty much creating the final material needed by product manufacturers worldwide for the most common applications of these rare earth metals. Aimed to be established by 2025, it is clear to see as to why this is the ultimate aim of the company. This cradle-to-grave approach is something that can be seen in the largest and most powerful multinational corporations around the globe. Although extremely ambitious, with the level of growth the company and the industry is seeing and forecasted to see, an aim like this by 2025 is completely attainable. The fact that MP Materials has no direct competitors in that region of the world ensures that Chinese mines are a distant threat. The unbelievable 15% market contribution for this single company alone remains and maintains on global markets an impressive figure, but with much room for improvement. But now for the big question and the big surprise. Should you buy, should you hold, and what can you expect? Well, it's no secret that the industry is set to see a huge upswing in the forthcoming years. The fact that technological developments are happening more and more rapidly could be both a good and a bad thing for an industry like this. The discovery of a more suitable material could leave the entire rare earth metal sector just dead in the water. There does legitimately seem to be a great long-term investment in MP Materials and Fortune Valley Acquisition Corp. Chamath Palihapitiya certainly thinks so with his top investments for 2021. Just don't forget that he's hedged his bets through the means of a PIP investment. Do your research and make sure you hedge yours as well. While you're here, go ahead and click on one of these two videos on your screen. See you there.